driveway for them to drive up. But now we do, so it's exciting stuff. Several hundred tons of rock and plastic piping, and it's quite a construction it was too.
Yeah, I did. I tell my people on YouTube we'd be talking rubbish tonight, and there we are.
There we are, talking about my fucking driveway.
Yeah. But I mean, the bin men is an important day, isn't it? Today, I mean, Tuesdays is the bin men. We have recycling, and then next week it's the rubbish. And
absolutely.
I thought I'd join in this exciting conversation.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Let's see who's in the house. Pyrox is in the house from Greece. That's all Greek to me.
Yes.
Right. You see what I did there?
I did,
I'm here
yes.
all week. Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
All right. I am enthusiastically watching both of you discussing together.
Good.
Good. Yeah. Do you like our story about the bin man so far? I do carnivore diet for almost a year. OMAD. Very good. Opinion, please. Okay, opinion. Dry or water fasting? Why and for how many days? There you go, Stephen. There's one for you to get your teeth into straight away.
Oh, wow. Now then, I wouldn't go straight into dry fasting if you've never done a water fast. I think that might be a little bit of a leap for you. Water fasting, have you ever done it? Right, well, let's just go right. If you've never done it, it's a good thing to try to do a little bit of a water fast. And you can start 18 hours of water fasting and then eating for 6. And then you could eventually go to a 24-hour where you eat, I don't know, let's say midday, and the next day you eat at midday, so that's a 24-hour, and then you just extend it and extend it. I would say the sweet spot for most people is about 72 hours, and it's quite surprising because, in my experience, people feedback that the first day was tough, the second day wasn't too bad, and by the third day I probably could have gone another day. But it's like the law of diminishing returns, and eventually when you go back to eating, make sure that you're sensible refeeding, because your insulin is obviously very low. So if I tend to recommend a little bit of fat 30 minutes before you're actually going to eat, to just sort of ease you into it. And dry fasting, I think, is exceptionally good. I think once you've got your training wheels off for fasting, you don't need to do anywhere near as long. But again, you've got to be mindful all through these things. Make sure you're listening to your body. Don't think it's all about willpower. If you're feeling dizzy, lightheaded, very cold, your body is saying we're not doing well on this at the moment. Obviously, if you're very lean, it's probably not a good thing. For therapeutic reasons, it's excellent, of course. You are definitely eliciting a huge response from the migratory motor complex, which we don't really talk about very much, but also just standard autophagy. So yeah, I think it's very good. So yeah, water fast up to 72 hours. I think extended fasting if you're looking, for therapeutic reasons, and dry fasting. I think a dry fast maybe a day and a half, but that's about as much as I can tell you, really.
Like it a lot. Don't disagree with anything.
Oh, cool. Thank you very much.
Yeah. There's no hate speech here in Pimbatia today.
Yes, they're not.
Yeah. Well, usually hate speech is defined as anyone who disagrees with me. That's immediately viewed as hate speech. That's a hate crime in Pimbatia, and you'll be held accountable to the highest authority here.
All right. Okay. We don't want any of that, do we?
The highest authority is this guy.
Is it really?
He's in charge. Right, let's see who's in the house and whatever the questions might be. Dorota is in the house talking about colours. Good. I'm glad. Today, middle, yellow, first, red. What? Okay. Roger Rabbit's here. Sudeep is here. Good to see you.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yep. Okay. Good.
Well, they're all good, aren't they? They're all good, aren't they?
No fast, no feast. Whew. There you go. There's the hard word. You've been told. David's in the house. Good to see you, David. Zeus, the god of war, is here. Very good. Very good. And Redox, or Redex, not Redox, Redex. Good. Ted.
Yes? Can I help you, soldier? Yes? What? Well, what? What? Oh, well, I'm going to twiddle my knobs.
Good. You good boy. You twiddle the knobs. That's a good lad. Jeffrey's here. Jonathan's here. Good to see you, Jonathan, of course. All the usual suspects.
Yes, he was on our live on Sunday night, and I think he disappeared just as we was asking for his expert opinion.
Oh.
So anyway.
Typical. That's the way these things go, isn't it? Yeah,
these bodybuilders.
Yeah. I think you're ahead of yourself there, Andrew. Yes, well ahead of yourself there, I think.
They're playing our song.
Yes, although it is breakfast time here, being just after 7 in the morning. Yeah, apparently there were two streams on my channel. No, there weren't. Not that I was aware of. Jesus Christ. Is there more fuckery going on with the YouTubes?
To be honest, yes, that's what happened to me. Two channels, two links came up, and I had to delete one. Yes,
very strange.
It is YouTube playing silly buggers, as they say over here in Britain.
God, typical. Derek's here. There's more love from Italy. Very good. Kansas is in the house. And the farm mom. Very good. No, that's definitely all Greek to me. Definitely.
Yes.
Yes, I'm here all week. All right, we have 3 questions. Since there are 3 Qs there instead of just the one that's required, make sure, Ted, if you don't mind, that we send the bill 3 times to Carnivore Free Mom, please. That being the case, what do you think of Thomas? Here we go, Bart and Thomas, it says.
Thomas?
Thomas. What do you think of drinking milk if the rest of the diet is meat and eggs and no other carbs? What do you think of drinking milk, Thomas?
Well, Kay. Well, when you're a baby, it's really good. Excellent because it helps you grow. I'm not anti anything. I don't think we are actually. Are we? As a.
I'm anti-vegan.
Yeah, well, anti-vegan. Yeah, maybe a bit. Right. If you're doing well, if you're doing well on milk, then great. More power to your elbow. I don't think it's good for me. I don't think any dairy products are good for me. I feel better without them, which is why I sort of did that little preamble. Jane's recently removed just from cups of tea. She was drinking tea. She's removed tea and milk, and she feels really great for it. I suppose when you look at the physiology, it's a substance from another species. It's meant to be taken when you're weaning. It is designed to keep you growing. But for some people, they seem to do really well, especially on raw milk. A2 protein, the cows that produce that milk, they seem to do okay. So I can't deny people's lived experience, but I do think it's one of those things that is good until it isn't. And I think if you come over from vegan, for instance, to this way of eating, it's a bit like going vegan from the standard American diet. Yeah, you're going to feel better because what you've come from is rubbish. So I think if you leave vegan and you come over to this way of eating and you include kefir or some sort of whole yogurt, whole fat yogurt, and you feel great, well, that's more power to your elbow. But I think at some point, experiment taking the dairy out and see how good you feel. And we talk about the casein morphines and how addictive it all is. That's another thing. You can certainly overconsume it.
Yeah, you bet. You can.
Yeah, but I'm not anti it. I'm not anti it. If you feel you're doing well, fill your boots. But personally, I think you feel better without it.
Yes, agreed again. Goodness, we're agreeable today, aren't we? Goodness. I tell you, the other thing I would add to all of that is that I too tend to react negatively to pasteurized milk.
Ah, yes.
Since we bought the farm here, I have consumed quite a bit of dairy in the form of sheep and goat's milk, raw. Now, whether it's because it's not bovine or whether it's because it's not pasteurized, I don't know. but I do not react negatively to the raw goat or the raw sheep milk. So depending on where you live and what's available to you and etc., that might be something that you might want to try as well if you want to consume some dairy. Again, though, with the caveat that you need to understand that the exact dietary requirement for dairy is none at all. It's an option, and you need to be aware of the quite high level of sugar in milk.
Yes.
I guess. Yeah. So long as you know all of those things and you're prepared for all of that, and your body is reacting the way you want it to and not the way you don't, I don't have a problem with it either. Yeah.
And I think you're
So there
right.
is.
I mean, the raw milk is definitely easier on the stomach. Definitely.
Right. Okay. I wonder why. It's got to be something to do with some cofactor that somehow is destroyed by pasteurising.
Yeah,
would have
absolutely.
But I don't know which one. Do you?
Well, I'd imagine it's some enzymes that are actually in there to help you deal with the lactose, I would imagine.
Right. Or actually enzymes that are in there to help the baby animal that it was designed to actually be fed to.
Yes.
We've got 6 young goat kids at the moment who are getting their fill, and the growth rate just every morning I go down. Are these the same ones, or have someone come over at night and swapped them for other ones, sort of thing? It's incredible. And we've got the surviving lambs. We had a bit of a horror with lambs. We had 50% mortality on the lambing. Oh, it was terrible. But anyway, the surviving lambs are all growing like growy things. Incredible.
Can I just say to sorry, Bart, to interrupt.
please,
I've just
yeah.
Carnivore Farm Mum. My name isn't Thomas. That's my surname. It's Stephen.
Yeah, I thought they might pick up on that, but no, is it?
No,
They've not. No.
no.
Yeah. All right. So thank you for correcting that, Stephen. Yeah. Good. All right. Good to see Rick's in the house. Stefan says, recently I debated a doctor in YouTube comments going on about how cholesterol is bad. Okay. And someone commented that Bart Kay has entered the chat. Did I? I can't remember. I enter many chats. I wade in where fools fall to fair to tread. Frankly, I just dive in there, and I can't often remember those discussions even the next day. But I can tell you how it went, pretty much, because they all go the same way, don't they?
I'm wondering if he's actually alluding to the fact that he sounded like you, maybe as well.
Oh, okay, maybe that's it. Yes, could be. Yep. I think mimicry is the most sincere form of flattery, isn't it? And there are quite a few people running around apparently who have appropriated some of my epistemological bents, shall we say, ways of explaining things, saying things. What I'm really looking forward to is the time where everybody out there gets called a cock lunch. I think that'd be awesome. Yeah.
The thing is, though, if you're explaining biochemistry, physiology, you're going to sound similar because it works a way, and
yes, in a certain way. Yes.
Yeah. So if you describe the Krebs cycle, you can't do it in a different order. It's going to sound the same, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. And if you say no, cholesterol's not bad, you cock lunch, then that's a dead giveaway, or something like that.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So here's a good question, I think. How to move conversations from proxies of damaged things like blood glucose, LDL counts, etc., to damaging models of actual damages. You like the word damage, don't you? Glycation, scarring of arteries, livers, kidneys, etc. Okay, so how do we get people away from the thought process that bloods are the answer to everything? They are an inviolate canon, and the only information that you need is bloods, and if you've got bloods, then you know everything about what's going on in the body, I guess is the question. Well, we've got the right man here for that question, Stephen.
Well, it's education and sort of trying to appeal to common sense, which is severely lacking.
See, that's what you did wrong.
Yeah, you can have a perfect set of labs and feel absolutely awful. So there you go, and that happens quite a lot. And you can have labs that are allegedly all over the place, and you can feel the best you've ever felt. how do you move the conversation is to continually, to drum on about it, which is what I'm doing right now. There are some really good measures that we don't do. There's this recent thing looking at butter and olive oil and coconut oil, and they pick and choose what they want to talk about, and they talk about health. Never once do they talk about the height to waist ratio, for instance, which is a fantastic, simple thing. I'm not a doctor, but I know doctors. They are taught that the first thing you do is they look the person up and down and try and make an assessment. Well, that's still pretty valid. I think you can tell when someone's glowing and quite healthy. Yes, the bloods help to diagnose, but as I always say, if you're talking to your mate down the pub, for instance, and you was at the bar and you said to your mate, do you know what? I feel absolutely fantastic. Best I've felt for 30 years. I've lost a ton of weight. I sleep so well. I'm full of energy. If your friend said, well, you should get down that doctor, then get some blood tests, you would think he's a complete idiot. So I think that's what I mean about common sense. You have got to listen to your clinical presentation, how you look and feel. And the markers they use are incorrect anyway. So they bang on about high LDL. So this study I've just alluded to, all they were talking about was the LDL is high. So if you start with a false premise that high LDL is not very good for your health, then all your conclusions are completely wrong. And I noticed in the data that of the 3 fats that they tested, the waist measurement for butter actually went down the lowest. So they didn't mention that, even though, like I say, height to waist ratio is a pretty good measure. High sensitivity CRP, that wasn't mentioned because butter did really well. So there are some, even if you did look at a load of bloods, there are like maybe 3 or 4 that are quite prime. But the bottom line is, it means nothing if your clinical presentation, like I say, if you're feeling fit, healthy and vital, why are you even looking at bloods? And people use the bloods they don't understand the unreliability of, say, the HbA1c, where you're the same as me, but we don't say it the same. I always say this, you can have 2 people walk in and their average is 100, all right? They're 100 milligrams per deciliter. My average is 100. And the first one you say, okay, let's have a look at your actual readings day to day. And it's 150 down to 50, 150 down to 50, 150 down to 50. So immediately, if you want to get all fancy pants, that person has got insulin spikes, eliciting the polyol pathway, going quite close to the renal threshold before, sugar goes into urine. But the average is 100. Whoopee, great. And the other person is 105, 95, 105, 95, 105, 95. That's fantastic. So even if you look at the number, the context is really important.
Yeah.
How are you getting that number? And who's telling you 100 is great? Who's telling you 80 is even better? Who's telling you 105 is terrible? People that don't understand the physiology of this way of eating, we're completely different to everyone. So yeah, how do we get people to actually go back to basics? Just keep talking about the numbers in a way that people can understand and how irrelevant they are without context. To be honest,
Brilliant.
that's what I would say.
Absolutely brilliant. Spot on. That's why I have you here, to do the work, Stephen.
That's okay.
Just while you were saying about that and talking about numbers and people getting upset about numbers and things, it brought me to mind of a client I spoke to yesterday whose GP is upset with them because their cholesterol is elevated. And, I always, one of my questions that I ask these people is, well, you say your cholesterol is elevated. What numbers are you getting on your blood test, sort of thing? This guy yesterday said, well, it's over 1,000.
What, the LDL?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yep, that is elevated. I'll give you that. I'll let for once. Because usually I say elevated according to whom, on the basis of what.
Basis of what? Yes.
But in this case, I'm going. Yep, I'll let you have that. That's an elevated level, nonetheless. And then go into the spiel as to how it's not necessarily problematic and blah de blah de blah de blah de blah. But that one took me aback a bit. I was like, oh, that's one I've not heard before. That's a new record. Ted was impressed.
That is very high.
Yes,
but you see, how many people that don't get their LDL? Firstly, it's a calculation, isn't it? So
Yes.
that's the
Yes.
first thing.
It's
So
not even
it
measured,
could-
guys. Yeah.
Yeah, there could be and I can bench press quite a lot of weight as well. But the other thing is,
Are you retarded?
so it's there could be something wrong with the algorithm there, and that's the other thing. What I'm beginning to say to people is, if their blood tests have attention needed, don't forget that is an algorithmic statement. It's not a clinical judgment they're making. When I had my CSE score, when I was coming to the end of my high carb believing period of life, it was 639. But the consultant said to me, "Don't worry about this too much. I've just had a guy in at 3,000," which is why I said what I just said about you don't know what other people are doing, really, because there's probably more than one person at 1,000. It's just you don't encounter them.
All right. Here's a comment that's apparently coming in from your channel, Stephen. So I don't know what's going on.
Well, I did manage to salvage it. I was doing a bit of
Oh.
typing in the background, and I put it up under a different link.
Oh, there you go then. Ahoy from Cornwall, anyway. Cornwallis is in the house.
Wasn't there
Very
one
good.
you just flashed up about glycerol or something? There was a question.
Was there?
Hmm.
Oh, right. Yes, there was. All right. As far as I'm concerned, pancreatic lipase breaks down dietary fat into fatty acids and glycerol. Will glycerol be used as a gluconeogenic substrate, or is it happening only during lipolysis from adipose tissue only?
Good question. I didn't know that abbreviation. As
Right.
far as I'm concerned, is that what it
Yes.
stands for? Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, glycerol will be
Well, as
used.
far as I know, sorry, as far as I know.
As far as I know, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to query the C and the K there. Well, yes, intestinal and adipose. That's what you're talking about. Yeah, both of those can be used for gluconeogenesis. Definitely.
No. Zane Griggs says as soon as you don't have, as soon as your blood is not swimming in glucose, you immediately break down all your muscles, and
Well,
you're
he's-
swimming in cortisol. So it must be right because Zane Griggs said so.
Yes. To answer the question, yes.
Yeah.
I suppose adipose derived glycerol is like the primary driver, but yes, the body is smart. It will take the substrates it needs, and it won't go, "Where's this from?"
right.
It will use it. It will just use it.
Stop! You have your papers.
Oh no, that's the UK, isn't it? Sorry,
Yes,
I'm getting
yes.
confused.
The UK. It's just
Do you have your digital ID? Where is your digital ID?
yes. How you getting on with Queer Stalin over there?
Oh well, he's atrocious. Sorry, you floored me with a question there.
Yes.
I think him and Zane have a lot in common.
Right. Yeah.
I literally do not understand. Sorry to use the word literally. Anybody that can support him, I really just don't see it. I don't see how anyone can say that he's doing anything good because he isn't. Just lies and. No, he's awful. Just awful. The digital ID scares me, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it's awful what's happening to the farmers. We're all being lied to. They're trying to make everybody have to pay for the BBC, even though they've been discredited so much. It's unbelievable.
Apparently, Trump is suing them for $1 billion.
One would hope so.
Apparently, he is $1 billion.
Yeah, I hope so.
Oh, I hope he
That'd be
wins.
great.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah. You're fake news. Fake news. Love it. Yeah. All right. California is representing. Good to see California is in the house. California, I should say. Sorry, I pronounced that badly. California.
I think you might have got that right,
Yeah, they're trying to talk about explaining to us here in New Zealand as to why we should all have digital IDs as well, of course. Yeah. And
Yes.
there's also quite a lot of discussion about the Prince of Wales flying on a private jet among hundreds of other private jets to a conference to tell us all that we should drive our cars less or something.
Yeah. Well, they built this big road through the Amazon, haven't they?
Yeah, that too. Yeah, so they can all drive their petrol-driven cars that once they get off their aeroplanes to drive there and tell us about how we're all destroying the environment and stuff. Do these people not understand that they don't actually need to get together? They can, like Stephen and I are talking right now, aren't we? And we're about as far away as it's possible to be on the planet, really, nearly.
Yeah.
I mean, you draw a line right through the earth from where I am and you come out somewhere in the middle of Spain.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, in the UK, Stephen's not far from there. You see how this works? You don't need to get on a plane.
No.
We can talk about the climate from here. And if I was the Prince of Wales, I would understand that I've got no business whatsoever talking about politics, the climate, or anything else. Why doesn't he take any heed of the way his grandmother, bless her, did things? Probably because his father's doing the wrong thing as well, and was all along, when his father was the Prince of Wales. But that's for another day. Gills and Crete. Good.
Crete, I like Crete. I went to Crete many years ago. Herculean and all that, Yeah.
Closest I've ever got to that area, I went to Zante once. That was nice.
I went to
did some rock climbing.
Oh, brilliant. I went. I one of my clients today. Her husband's a biologist or geologist. Sorry, and said she'd get him a T-shirt that says "Geology Rocks." But anyway,
boom.
I was going to say I went to the Samir Gorge in Crete, which is like this incredible split in the earth, and it's huge mountainous land masses, and you walk through and there's a little river and birds and stuff like that. It's about 3 or 4 miles, absolute wilderness. And just before we went in with the guide, an American said, will there be an ATM in there?
An ATM
for real, but no.
Dear, oh dear. I noticed just in the last few minutes looking through some of these comments and stuff that there is a large representation in the house this morning, my time, this evening, your guys' time, from Europe.
Yeah,
which is gratifying. I'm very, very pleased to see so many Europeans in the live chat, which I think gives me a cause to bring up the fine news about the Cerule Stem Enhance Hardcore Carnivore release, which is imminent in the UK and European Union marketplaces. Many of you will be aware of the fine product Stem Enhance Ultra, which is great and is brilliant and does exactly what it says on the bottle, which is it causes your bone marrow to release your adult stem cells into your bloodstream, whereupon they do magics around your body. And you can get that from Stephen at onlinecoach.cerule.com. If you don't already get it from me, or somebody else, whatever. But the news is that very, very soon, imminently, there will be the release of the Hardcore Carnivore formulation. The Hardcore Carnivore formulation, which is, if you like, an invention of mine. Not the active ingredient, because it's still the same. But what my invention was to say to them, well, instead of a cellulose capsule, let's use bovine gel. And instead of an inert rice starch as a tableting flow agent, why don't we use silica? Because that's not a plant. And then the Hardcore Carnivore people can stop saying to me,
oh yes, it's great, but I'm not going to eat it because it's got plant material
in it.
Well, it's not
like
plants.
No.
But anyway, yes.
So there we go. So Hardcore Carnivore, Stem Enhance, available in the UK and Europe soon. Available from onlinecoach.cerule.com. And while we're talking about that, before we move off that, I got a question from someone called Stephen by email last night. Do you know who this is, Stephen?
I think it might be me.
There you go. Must be. It goes like this. Here's a question from one of Stephen's customers. That's what it is. I am looking at putting together a bundle for my next purchase. Good. And I have a couple of questions. Love questions about Cerule. They're my favourite. Number one, how can I best optimize the use of these products? Okay. First of all, I always suggest to folks that while Stem Enhance Ultra or Stem Enhance Hardcore Carnivore, as the case may be, while those are brilliant standalone, I always suggest a wellness pack of 3 different products which are synergistic. And they are Stem Enhance of either variety, Cyactive, an anti-inflammatory, which works on the LOX and COX pathways, but doesn't have the same problems that you get with pharmacological versions, and Plasma Flow, which dissolves fibrin deposits from your microvasculature, thus allowing stem cells to get to where they need to be and stuffs like that. So that's the first thing. Always take those 3 products together, not just one. Secondly, it says 2 capsules once or twice a day on the bottle. Which is fine if you want to maintain a situation or stave off old Father Time or something a bit. That's not a therapeutic claim, by the way. If you want to really make some progress, though, with your stem cell repair and renewal of your body tissues, it behooves you to release more adult stem cells than that, which you can achieve by taking more than 2 a day. You can go as high as 16, actually, and you can go higher than that too if you like. There's no toxicity level. It's not about that. It's about the fact that it stops working at around about 16. It tops out at that level. So taking more than that is pointless. It doesn't cause your body any further response. So yeah, you can take more than 2 a day and take all 3 together. Get them in a wellness pack. That way you get a price break on the products and you don't pay the shipping on Subscribe and Save, which is awesome. And if you want them for free, if you don't want to pay for them at all, what you should do is send Stephen an email and he'll tell you how that works. Won't you, Stephen?
I will, yes.
What's your email address? It's
Zero Carb Coach. That's all spelt out. ZERO, 0. Carb, CARB, Coach, COACH, at gmail.com.
Very good. And if you want to just go directly there and buy the product, it's onlinecoach.cerule.com.
Yeah, I take 4 Stem Enhance just for people who will ask.
All right, cool. And the second question, what is your take on the Cyactive joint and the Plasma Flow? Well, I can talk to the Cyactive joint a bit, and then Stephen can tell us about the experience that his lovely wife has had with the other products, wasn't it? Or was it you?
Cyactive.
Yeah. Oh, yes, all right. So other way around. So I'll talk about Plasma Flow, you talk about Cyactive. All right. Plasma Flow is an enzyme preparation that dissolves fibrin deposits from your microvasculature. Why are they there? Because when you are chronically inflamed, fibrin precipitates out of your blood plasma and becomes a spiderwebby sort of plug. It's designed to lock down your body in an inflammatory situation and stop formed elements like pathogens from moving around your body, which is useful acutely, but when it becomes chronic, it's not useful because it blocks off the ability of red cells, white cells, stem cells, and other formed elements getting to where they need to be. So that's why it's so vital to take Plasma Flow. Plasma Flow, by the way, is limited, and my suggestion to people, you should only take 2 of those a day. I have found personally that if you take more than that, you can get quite a sore tum-tum. So don't do that. But the other 2, the Stem Enhance Ultra and the Cyactive, you can go as high as 16. But you were going to tell us about Jane's experience with Cyactive, weren't you?
Yeah, and this is the thing. I mean, just to hark back to the Stem Enhancer, just very briefly, I had a period where when we moved into this new house, the roof collapsed and we had a big flood and I couldn't afford anything. I mean, it was real sort of seat of the pants job, hand to mouth. So that went by the wayside after I'd been using it for a long time. And it was only when I went back to it did I really realise what it was doing for me. it's a bit like when people say, "Oh, I went back to carbs for a bit," and then, well, within 6 weeks, it was a nightmare. So for STEM Enhanced, for me, I like talking about clinical experience, how you actually present, and I can assure you, I feel better with it than without. I'm 61, and it's doing me good, I think. But with Jane, she's pretty fit. She's 56, and she does pole fit, and she's a Pilates instructor and very, very fit. But her hands were beginning to ache. She felt like that she couldn't grip the pole and all that sort of stuff. So when she started taking that went away. Now, I can't say that that's what happened because of, we can't make a cause and effect claim. We can't say it's going to do that, but that's what actually happened. That was our experience, our lived experience. She took it, it went away. And there was no other changes. There's no other confounders. We're both very boring. We eat the same things. We do the same things, because we run a business, we do things at a regular time. And it was like magic. I mean, literally, she went from after pole fit having absolute agony to none whatsoever. So I'm a big fan of it. I don't take it myself. I don't feel like I'm inflamed. And again, I'm really consistent. If you feel optimal, you might not need to take anything. But I think you'll never know how good you can feel. It's a bit like going 100% carnivore. If you really did go 100% strict carnivore, then you've got the informed consent in a way to say, right, I did feel really good, but I'm happy at 90%, say, for instance. But you'll never know how good you can feel until you try it, I think.
Right, good. Pole fit, you say? Pole fit, yes.
Yeah, none of that, mate.
Wouldn't dare. I wouldn't. Ted'd be straight onto that, though, wouldn't he? Onto the old pole. Ted likes a bit of pole. Don't you? Doesn't mind twiddling the knobs either so much. Speaking of which, things that are happening around Pimbatia, that is. So we have a secret guest arriving here today. Our latest victim of a person who is also an online influencer of some ill repute, who will be arriving in Pimbatia later on today. And we will be very pleased to have her on board, and we shall put her to work in the salt mines here in Pimbatia, so we shall. But let's see if we can guess who's going to be arriving here later on today, just to keep the old Gauze rhythms happy and stuff. Everybody put your guess as to who's coming to visit Pimbatia today. We can give you some hints, perhaps. Well, we already did. We've already nominated that she's a she. So that limits it to around about half the population, doesn't it? Anyways, there it is.
Why do you say plants are not food when we can digest some, if not all, of the nutrients?
Why do you think I say that? Well, there you go.
Well, they have toxins. I mean, to be honest, there's a thing called there's a fungus. Let's give you a non-carnivore answer that proves that plants are clever and want to actually damage animals. Leuca agaricus or something. It's a fungus that grows below the ground, and it elicits the help of ants, leaf cutting ants. All right, this is all known. The Bixus tree is the leaf that the ants attack. All right, so this is, and you can even get a David Attenborough, documentary about this, and this absolutely proves that plants are able to realize they're being attacked and they can release the toxin. So how this fungus lives, it's a symbiotic relationship with the ant. It produces these like little food nodules for the ants, and in return it sends a chemical signal to tell the ants to go and get some leaves for it, and it actually can tell them which leaves to go and get. So if it tells them to get leaves from the Bixus tree, off go these ants, these leaf cutting ants. Fantastic. We've all seen the ants carrying the leaves. We know that image. So that's true. We know that's true. They go below ground and they feed the fungus. The fungus starts to grow. And because of that, the ants dig out a bigger cavern. Now, what does a Bixus tree do? Bixa. You can look it all up. It starts to change the toxins and it kills off the ants. There you go. So it's got a defense chemical. It's a real thing. It kills the animal. And those ants obviously stop doing it and they go to another tree. Right. That's it. Right. And these chemical signals between. So when we talk about plants, yes, you can eat them, but using that fungus as an example, until the plant kills you. You know, it will get to the point where you will eat so much. Many plants release estrogen, which makes the insects that are feeding on them infertile. What a great way to stop that insect coming back, to stop them having offspring. So if you look at, you know, biology, it's all over the place. If you stop looking at nutrition science in inverted commas and actually just read up about the wonderful animal kingdom and the wonderful fauna and flora around us, you will find it full of, you know, textbooks saying how great this mechanism is, how great this tree is at defending itself. So it's known. We know it. And we know it from basic stuff like red kidney beans. You have to soak them. You have to, you know, if you eat them raw, about 5 of them, well, you'll be in hospital. So all the basics. I don't know why people keep going on about it, because if you were plonked somewhere in the world, in the wilderness, wild somewhere, firstly, there wouldn't be bananas like you see and apples like you see. Would you be able to pick anything from the forest floor or from any tree or any bush or any shrub and just eat it? No, because you wouldn't know whether it's poisonous or not. And most plants are poisonous in that situation. Right now, if you saw a wild boar going across and you had the wherewithal to be able to fashion some weapon and you was absolutely starving, you would know that you could eat that. You would know.
Yeah.
Simple as that. It's really, you know, sorry to be very unsciencey, but that's what gets me about this argument. It's around you. It's how we live, what we see.
So sit up straight, face the front, pay attention for goodness sake.
You can digest cyanide, but it doesn't mean you should.
That's right. Correct. Could a raw wellness pack have effects on erectile functioning, i.e. the blood flow and the anti-inflammatory effect and all of that?
I knew there'd be a hard question.
Yes, absolutely. That's not a therapeutic claim. We're not allowed to make therapeutic claims, but what you've said there is correct. Yes, the product does have an effect on an anti-inflammatory effect, and yes, plasma flow is designed to improve blood flow. So all of those things are probably useful, depending on the cause of any dysfunction there might be, of course, because not everything is reversible.
But it improves your chances, doesn't it?
Yes.
If you give yourself the right environment. I mean, that's the thing.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry to bring the level down.
Please do. Yeah. It's always good when it's not just me that's bringing the level down, diggy down.
Why are you showing us your favourite topic?
Oh my God! Every single time I do a live stream,
get it off the screen.
Yeah. Look, if you want to see my answer to that question, watch any one of my live streams from the last 7 or 8 years, because I get asked this every single fucking time without fail.
Do you think it might be one of those bingo things where people
I don't
say,
know. I think it's
ask this question?
It's a running joke. Yeah.
Yeah, see if he swears.
That's right.
Yeah, you made Jane laugh the other day because she was listening on audio, doing a bit of work, and she was just listening to you talking, and you something. She said, "I don't know what came up," but he just went, "Oh, F's sake."
Yeah.
I don't swear much. You probably noticed that. So
we did. You're much more cultured than Ted. Ted, who does actually swear quite a bit. If you want to follow Ted, you can follow Ted on X. He's his own man or his own bear, really. He's his own small, fluffy, yellow teddy bear over there on the X platform. He's sweetness and light all the time, isn't he? On X is Ted. Everyone. He'll see everyone there next Tuesday. He will.
Right.
Yes.
Carry on.
Go on next Tuesday and follow Ted on X. HRH_Ted is where you find that, if you're interested. And for God's sake, respect his identity. He's not me, I'm not him. There's nothing I can do with him, frankly. I keep telling him to tone it down. He won't listen.
Yes, Micah. Yes. Now, Micah is a wonderful member of our school community, and he thinks that I've never asked you this before, and I have.
Yeah.
But so why are you against organ meats like liver?
Right. Specifically, it's not organ meats like liver, it's liver. Right. In particular, that I suggest to people that they should severely limit their intake of. And when I suggest severely limit, what I mean is if you think about a carcass of a freshly butchered animal, and you think about the proportion of that animal that is muscle meat as opposed to the proportion of that animal that is its liver. All right? That's what we get dished up in nature.
Yeah. I've got a cow there, by the way.
That's a cow. Yes.
Yeah, on the
Very
screen.
good. Cows have livers, don't they?
Yeah, but
Good.
how much of a percentage would it be?
Yeah, not much, is it? Oh,
Not much. No.
I don't know the exact number, but it's very, very little. The thing about liver is it concentrates a lot of things.
Yes.
Retinol is one of those, and a lot of people say, oh, well, you shouldn't eat too much liver because of the potential for vitamin A toxicity, which is not incorrect. However, there is no evidence that I've ever seen of anyone that's genuinely got a vitamin A toxicity. It's just a theoretical problem. But I'll tell you what a real problem is: copper toxicity. And if you eat tons and tons of liver, or even worse, concentrate it, freeze dry it, put it in capsules and sell it to people, Paul Salad, I don't know who Bart Kay is. Paul Salad, I don't know who Bart Kay is. That's his name, isn't it?
Yes.
You know, you're asking.
I don't know who that is. I don't know
who
who
that
Paul,
is.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. He said. All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You're asking for a problem potentially if you eat vastly too much liver. People say liver is a superfood. No, it's not.
But that's the thing I've been saying to Mike, and Richard says this as well when we do our live Q&As, is about proportion and not overdoing it. I think a little bit of liver once a week, or a little bit of kidney, there's nothing wrong with that, because you do need a bit of copper. It's a good source of copper, but you're absolutely right. If if you don't have copper, your iron absorption is a little bit compromised. But anyway, yeah, it's not that you're against it; it's against people pushing loads of supplements and eating way too much of it, I think.
Right. Yep.
Is that a right paraphrasing?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't ever touch liver. I've never said that. But what I have said is the overt seeking out of the concentrating of the overdoing it with liver, thinking it to be some kind of superfood. No, that's a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I often recommend if people have histamine issues, and it could be that DAO is low, the enzyme that degrades histamine, to try a little bit of kidney. But I never say have kidney every single day, just a little bit. That's all you need.
Yeah. So Sophia Clement's opinion on milk is interesting in regards to pasteurized versus raw, and she claims that raw is worse for autoimmune. What's your take on this?
Well, that would probably be because, what is the autoimmune system? It's most basic. It's looking at foreign objects in the body. And if you have pasteurized, then a lot of those have been killed off, whereas raw maybe has slightly more. So this is the argument that sort of makes sense. But then you see, with thyroid, we see more antibodies when people start making more thyroid hormone, because the checks and balances of the immune system will make that be the case. Because if you're producing 100 units of thyroid and you got 10%, and you've got like 10, let's say the score of the antibodies is 10, and you're producing 100 units of thyroid, and then you start producing 500, and the antibodies are not 10, they're 20. They've gone up because there's more activity in the area. So the immune system isn't passive. That's why it's good. It's always looking at stuff. So I would imagine that's where she's coming from. I don't know her particular claims, but that would be my speculation, that it is just the fact that there is more stuff in raw than there is in pasteurized for the body to go, that's not right. Maybe we need to attack it. That's my speculation.
Okay. Good. I too am not particularly au fait with what Sophia has to say on this. I'll take your word for it, Mark, as to what it is that she says, to which my response would be, fine, and the speculation would be around what Stephen's just said. But I would add to that by saying, so is there any evidence that that is so on a more population level? Do we have some numbers on that? Or is that just a speculation? I don't know the answer to that question either. I'm just throwing it out there. Very good. Your thoughts on C15 fat? being essential or not essential?
Well, it's not essential. I mean, that's firstly what we know, because what is the definition of essential? If you were deficient in it, you have a problem. Well, there's no such deficiency as C15.
No.
And I do know that they're looking at this sort of, what's the word? Where it is conditionally essential. That they're trying to claim that. And that's based on epidemiology. It's very, very weak. So for me, I don't think it's essential.
Yeah, right. Yes, your thought about someone being accused of being me that isn't me was correct. Yeah, yeah, from earlier on. And apologies from the farm, Mom.
And she spelt it wrong.
Yeah, I just noticed that. PH.
No,
you're having
I'm teasing.
You're having
I'm
a blinder,
teasing.
Yeah, we love you anyway. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yep.
Great to see both of you gents. Well, thank you very much. Running late as I to bath our 15-year-old dog. Good. Okay. She's very unwell and almost 2 years carnivore and thriving. Oh, was very unwell and now is. Right, good. And greetings from Cork.
Excellent. Top of the morning.
Hey, it's top of the morning to you. even though it's not the morning there in Cork at the moment, is
It's
it?
evening. It's evening.
Tis. Okay. Right, what the fuck is the next question?
Well, that's what I was thinking. Where is the next question?
There it is. Should I be concerned about cholesterol over 500? Oh, here we go. Go on, Stephen. I can save my breath.
Well, it's Carnivore Farm Mum. Hello, nice to see you again. Well, is that total? Firstly, is that total cholesterol? Because that's an estimate, not measured. Is that LDL you're talking about? What? You see, it's out of context completely.
Yeah.
Have you got your HDL? Have you got your triglycerides? Have you got fractions if you want to do particle counts? You know, to be honest, let's be really blunt. LDL, I don't think anyone now thinks LDL levels are appropriate for any sort of predictions for heart attack risk. Definitely, there's more people talking about the HDL to triglyceride ratio. Whether you think that's a good one or not, I don't know. But that's where the mainstream is even going, that LDL isn't that helpful. Like I said, there are much better markers that you can look at. And I don't think cholesterol is one of those things to worry about in any way, shape or form, because we have all the data, don't we? We have the BMJ 2016 study where it was concluded looking at 68,000 patients. I think there was 19 studies, of which 16 were very much of the thinking that the higher your cholesterol, the longer you lived. I mean, that was that. And then you got the InterHeart study where they looked at people being admitted for heart attacks, and 72% of people that were being admitted for heart attacks in that study, 100,000 patients they looked at, 72% had 130 milligrams per deciliter or less LDL cholesterol. So that's pretty damning as well. Then you've got the King's College study, says very much the same thing. Corn oil study, Minnesota. You've got the Minnesota coronary study. You just, basically, there's too much. And now we've got this rabbit study. Now, I think this is really interesting because in 1913, a Russian scientist fed rabbits cholesterol dissolved in seed oil. And that's where this all started, wasn't it? Where all this LDL is causing atherosclerotic plaques. So it all started with a rabbit being injected cholesterol dissolved in seed oil. Very important. Now, later on, quite recently, they've now had rabbits back, and they've given them cholesterol not in seed oil to see how they fared, which was a lot better. But interestingly, they had a separate group of rabbits where they injected into the veins LDL. And you know what? Nothing happened to them.
Right.
Actually, the other rabbits that didn't have the LDL or the high LDL, they seem to have worse outcomes. So I just thought that was quite cute. Whoever designed that study to come full circle and make it 180, take the seed oils out. And I think it actually shows you something about seed oils being a problem. But anyway, it also shows that LDL doesn't seem to be a problem. I know it's rabbits.
Love it.
I know it's rabbits. But if you're going to start with rabbits to bolster your thing, use rabbits to disclaim it. I think, that's perfect.
Sure. Absolutely. Love all of that. All agree with all of that. My answer to the question would have been no.
I know it would.
No, you should not be worried about your cholesterol. I don't care what level it is. No. Karen is not managing to eat 150 grams of protein. She's tried OMAD and eating twice a day, feeling satiated more quickly now somehow. Any suggestions? Carnivore for 8 months.
Why have you got to get to 150 grams of protein? Firstly, that's the
Exactly.
question.
Great question. Love it. That's why I have you here, Stephen. Exactly. Why?
Because you're feeling
I would trust your
satiated.
instincts. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get that satiety signal, that means your body's got what it needs on board. Usually, unless there's something functionally wrong, is there?
And sorry to be picky, not with you, Bart, but with the question, you've tried OMAD and eating twice a day. If anyone else is out there thinking, well, what else can I do? You could do 3 meals a day.
You could. If you, if you absolutely can't get enough, genuinely can't get enough food in one or two.
Yep.
I only
if you're
suggest that one is
satiated-
ideal because of the inflammatory response of eating.
Yes.
So, good. Oh, now, this is interesting, and I think I probably know the answer. Carnivore 2 years, eggs, butter, bacon, pork, lamb, beef, coffee, and cheese. I have developed an eczema-type rash on the hips, female aged 55. Huge improvements overall. What do you think the cause of that would be?
Well, I would not take out everything. I would take out one thing at a time if you're trying to find who the culprit is. So my best guess, well, it depends what part of the world you're in, because, I've spoken to a couple of people today, and where they live, the pork is atrocious, and so is the lamb, which is, one of the top things here in Britain. But, well, let's do this. They all pretty much could be problematic. The least problematic, let's do it that way, would probably be lamb and beef. There would be the things I definitely think are going to be all right.
Yep.
And I would start with lamb and beef next. Then I would think you're probably okay with, depending on where you're getting it, the butter and the bacon, although butter could be dairy, and then the eggs. I think you're very good. So that leaves coffee and cheese.
Yeah.
Coffee, cheese, and pork would be the things to look at. I would take out pork first, maybe for 3 or 4 weeks, if it improves. If it doesn't, I would literally put it back in, literally just to annoy Bart.
Literally.
And then I would put the cheese back in. I would take the cheese out. Sorry. So pork I'd try first, then I'd try the cheese. If the cheese is out for 4 weeks and it still hasn't improved, put the cheese back. Take the coffee out. Boy, it's worth it though for the rest of your life. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
If it isn't the coffee after 4 weeks, put the coffee back and then take the egg whites out.
Yeah.
And I think you wouldn't need to do the experiment anymore, because it will be one of those things.
Okay, cool. I agree with all of that too. So there you go.
Okay.
But I would also suggest that there is a possibility that you might be oxalate dumping.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, the other thing is, let's be honest. It could be something else in the environment. It could be something else you're doing. It could be the detergent you're using, your washing powder. The water, the quality of the water. There are so many other things it could be. Mold in your house. There's so many different things. But
Yes.
I think try those things first.
Cool.
Tap water.
Very good.
Another one.
Here we go. How do you explain that eating carnivore that I can't make muscles? Stuck at 85 kilograms.
Is that stuck at 85 kilograms, man? Or
Or you're a man.
well, how can you explain it? Well, I don't know. There's not enough context, but it could be that you're not working out.
That's right.
You're not moving enough. You're not doing any resistance training. The quality of what you're eating, not eating enough, not eating enough.
You're not gonna build muscles just purely by eating protein, and you eat more protein, you make more muscles. That's not how it works.
No.
You build big muscles by doing appropriate training to cause your body to build big muscles. Are you doing that?
Yeah. You need to give your body, you push it to the physiological age, so it has to do something.
Yeah.
And of course, you need the associated fat as well, because bile helps with fat absorption, but also amino acid absorption. So, yeah.
Indeed. Yes, very good. Very true, Derek. Very true.
Common sense is very uncommon. Yep. That makes sense.
Yeah. There's an interesting one. Why do people believe that viruses' DNA atoms don't exist? Like Thomas Cowan, for example.
Because of their perceptions, it's just...
Yeah, everybody's got to have that thing that they say that makes them noteworthy, that, oh yes, he's one of those people that we should listen to because he's got the tinfoil wrapped around his head and whatever else. People seem to conflate two very, very different things and take the very, very strange meaning from them, it seems. If I say to you, I'm about to give you a fact, okay? And if I say this fact to you, somehow most people without training in epistemology, science and whatever, take a completely different meaning from what I'm about to say, from what I actually did just say. So let me say it, and then we'll see what you think. Viruses and bacteria have never been scientifically isolated and proven to act as pathogens. That is a fact. It's an immutable, irrefutable fact. Did I just say that neither of those things exist? No, I did not. Neither did I say anything remotely similar to that. Also, germ theory and terrain theory are not mutually exclusive. When people say, well, do you treat the sick goldfish or do you clean the goldfish bowl? Well, it's fucking both, is what you do. Isn't it? Viruses do exist. No question they exist. So do bacteria. The inference that we have around them being causal agents in pathology is really irrefutable. To suggest that they don't is absolutely, utterly fucking ridiculous. However, nonetheless, it's a fact that as per the scientific discipline of isolation, as per the Rivers and or Cox postulates, as the case may be, that hasn't been done. So someone like Tom Cowan cracks onto the statement that the scientific isolation of these things hasn't been done, and they take that somehow to mean, ergo, the thing doesn't exist. Well, have you ever seen an atom of anything, Stephen?
Well, I have seen electron microscope images of atoms.
You have then?
Yeah.
Okay. Most people haven't. Most people will say, no, I haven't seen an atom, in which case I would say, well, does it exist then?
Sorry, mate, I'm sorry, but I am very sad in that way.
Yeah. You are a sad man, aren't you? Goodness. Yes, I've seen an atom. You fucked up my whole thing.
Sorry, mate, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Oh, ask me again.
All right, so, Stephen, have you ever seen a small yellow furry teddy bear at the camouflage training?
No.
Nobody has. Thank you, sir. Right, let's carry on. How best for seniors to repair their mitochondria? Well, from what? Currently using 4 milligrams of methylene blue. Oh, here we go, methylene blue. All right. Yes, which has resolved my chronic fatigue issues. Okay. Fatigue remains when I stop methylene blue. That's interesting, isn't it? What was it? What might that tell you? MRI, blood tests, all unremarkable. All right. So, methylene blue is the question.
Well, it's an artificial electron carrier, isn't it? So that's what it does. So we can't deny that if you're taking it, you feel better, and if you're not taking it, you feel worse. But why is that? Is that because you know that you're taking it and then you know you're not taking it? I mean, that's one of the questions, and I'm not being patronizing or condescending or whatever. Yeah. You do have to take that into consideration because, I would say that about anything. If someone tells you this is going to make your life brilliant, look at what it's done to me, you're going to be hopeful, aren't you? And you're going to be wanting it to work. You're willing it to work. When did your chronic fatigue start? what are you doing outside of methylene blue? That's what I would say, because I do have a lot of patients that have taken it and always felt better when they've stopped it, actually. So this is the reverse of my experience, to be absolutely honest.
Okay.
What would you say?
Well, my take on methylene blue is that it's a pigment that acts as an electron transport chain. It inveigles itself into the mitochondria, and it actually sits in its energy level between two of the existing pigments
Complex
that are in the
1.
mitochondria.
Yeah, complex 1 and 3, isn't it?
Right, so it sits between 1 and 3, exactly. And what it does is it lowers the step transition from one to the other, which makes it easier to move electrons down that chain. But in so doing, paradoxically, it can actually reduce the output of ATP in so doing, which may or may not be a good thing, depending on what's going on. The original medical use for methylene blue was to provide a cure in the case of someone who's taken a toxin that works by blocking the mitochondrial electron transport chain pigments, to give it an alternate pathway so that that person doesn't die. Interesting. I'm aware that there's a couple of super chats coming through. Thank you very much for the super chats. Appreciate those very much. We'll get to those in due course. We're going through in order today, unless you whack a great big $50 or $100 on it or something, in which case we'll go out of order and deal with it straight away. Here you go. There's a challenge for you. Is a collaboration with Face IQ happening? Well, so far no, because it says apparently you emailed him. No. We have had exchanges backwards and forwards about doing a collaboration together, me and the young man known as Face IQ. And I invited him to email me to set it up. And apparently he's a fan. Apparently he, is known to say things that sound very much like things I would say. He's not the only one, mind. Others are doing that, and some of them give me credit for it, such as young Edward or Eddie Goki, who says a lot of things that I say, quite similar to the way I say them as well. But he gives me credit for it and says, well, that's where I learned it from. Unlike others who say a lot of things that they got from me and don't give me any credit for it, like, Ken Berry.
Oh.
For example, when Ken Berry isn't sure on something, which is not very often because he's pretty sure of most things, but when Ken Berry wants scientific advice, it's me that he asks. Do you think he gives me any credit for that? It's a bit disappointing, Ken, to be fair. Love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Nonetheless, I'd like some more credit, please. Thank you.
Yeah,
do you think
just
go on.
Just going back to methylene blue, if you have problems with your hemoglobin, and it's oxidized, and you get a metabolite from that, methylene blue definitely helps that. I mean, it definitely works on that, and I know that from when I did the decade in the lab testing. So it's definitely effective in some situations.
Anyway, I'm not saying it isn't. I'm not suggesting for a moment that it's effective.
No, I know that.
Effective.
Yeah, I wanted to clarify where I was as well.
Yeah, good. Clarity is a great thing.
Because it makes a type of hemoglobin, methemoglobin, that can't carry oxygen. So
lovely.
And that defeats the object of hemoglobin, doesn't it? Because it's been oxidized.
That's right.
And then with methylene blue, you actually reverse that. And that's factual. You like your science. People take it. That condition gets better.
Yeah. I was turned into a newt once.
I got better.
All right. Do you think it's worth supplementation of D3, K2 and taurine, especially D3 for the sunny UK?
Is that for me?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Go on.
Yeah, I think yes, I think so. I mean, it can't do any harm really. I mean, I would do a decent dose, like 10,000 IU's D3, K2. I actually think MK4 is a better form because that's what the body seems to prefer, but everyone else says MK7. And taurine is particularly good, but you're getting these from the diet. don't forget. If you're eating plenty of red meat, especially, or eggs, you're getting taurine. But it's one of those supplements that I think it's probably as good as you can get, really, because it helps with so many things like stomach emptying and bile production and all that. But if you're feeling great, do you need it? That's the thing. Go back to that. Be consistent.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not a fan of any kind of nutritional supplementation without a demonstrated shortage that needs supplementing. I think if you can get what you need via the normal process of eating food, you should. And in terms of D3, even in the UK, you can get plenty of that by bearing as much of your pasty white as you possibly can during the summertime, where you get much more extended sunshine hours. At a more acute angle, of course, than what we get here in the communist state of New Zealand, where they want us to be having our papers. They want us to have the digital ID here in New Zealand, so that we can go on the interwebs and not be corrupted by it. Or something. It is for our safety. Yes. Is this a rule alive and kicking? I'm not sure what you mean. It's great stuff.
I don't understand that. Yeah,
it's great stuff. Get it down here. Onlinecoach.cerule.com is where you get it from. Don't wait, by the way, for the hardcore carnivore to drop in a few weeks. Get on it now. Get on it yesterday. You can always swap over if you want to, but let's get it happening. It is a good comment, and I presume it's in response to some chat that's going on in the background that I'm not really paying much attention to. But Roger Rabbit is asking the carnivore mom, why are you going to the doctor? Are you sick? Well, good point.
Yeah.
Very good point.
Yes. I think I sort of made that point.
I don't even have a GP, personally.
No. I don't know. Mine is...
I don't have a clinic. I'm not on anyone's books. I can't, just go to the GP or whatever. If I really need a doctor, then it's going to be an emergency, in which case I'm going to the ER, the A&E department. That's why I pay my taxes, among other things. Yeah, and God, do I pay my taxes. Jesus, it's incredible. In the communist state of New Zealand, when you work it all out for all the different forms of taxation that they add on top of different things, on top of other different things, etc., it's something like 59 cents on the dollar in tax. And now the Labour Party here are wanting to add a capital gains tax, which we don't currently have. Anyway, politics. It's for another day.
Cheers.
Ooh. Right, where are the questions, folks? Where are the questions? You're all talking amongst yourselves. Are we that boring? Socialist Scotland's in the house. Well,
all right.
Hey, I'll tell you what. The secret guest that's arriving here today in the independent sovereign nation of Pimbatia, surrounded by the communist state of New Zealand. I actually have to go into town to pick her up later on from where she's been staying overnight, having arrived on this island yesterday, I think. And she's going to come and stay with us here in Pimbatia for an indeterminate period to do some work on the farm, to eat meat, and probably to make some videos with Ted, I would suggest. Everybody wants to get involved with Ted, frankly.
Yes. That's great.
But she may or may not be a resident of Bonnie, Scotland. There you go. There's another hint. I haven't seen many guesses as to who the guest is in the chat. Hello, Patricia. I'm glad that you're all here. Your triglycerides. Well, which one of you? My triglycerides went from 7.2 to 0.7 after 3 months carnivore. That's awesome. I'm sure that's awesome. Why wouldn't it be?
7.2 is very high. That's a very high level of triglycerides.
It is.
That's about 640 milligrams per deciliter.
Yeah.
It's a lot, yeah. And then down to 62.
Yeah, I don't know why people are using all these freedom units. It's confusing for us that work in metric. Yes, very good.
I would postulate, Miss Patricia, that maybe when you had your blood test the first time, you might have eaten in quite close proximity to when you had the blood draw, because that's quite
that can
high.
mess it up. Yeah, that can really mess it up and make it quite invalid. Yes, be careful with those kind of things. Does upping the dosage of Cereal Stem Enhance Ultra elevate stem cell count more than 2 pills? Yes. 4 capsules is 4 capsules is slightly less than twice as good as 2, and 8 capsules is slightly less than twice as good as 4. And then when you get to 16, it's topped out. It's a flat line at that stage.
So when would you, if you were going to go to 8, I'm on 4 at the moment. If you were going to go to 8, is there a timing issue here? Would you do 1 in the morning or 4 in the morning, 4 at night?
If I was going to do 8, I might do 2 4s. If I'm going to do 12, I'll do 3 4s. And if I'm doing 16, I'll do 4 4s. That's how the math works, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's good maths.
Hang on,
okay.
Let me think about it.
Do you know what? I might try this experiment. I might double the dose then. I think from now.
Right. Cool. You
gonna
might
do
want
that.
to ramp up to it. Well, actually, you're probably quite adept now because you've been on it for a while, and it probably wouldn't. But anyone that hasn't already been on some for some time, I wouldn't suddenly change your dose up to a massive dose. You might get the shits.
Okay.
But otherwise, it's good stuff. It's nothing that has an effect doesn't have a side effect, and there it is. If you change it up too quickly, you might get the shits. Whatever. Good question. Where is that, Richard? Hello, where are you, Richard?
He's the food-looking one.
Yeah, the good-looking one, I think he means.
I know it's a typo. It's quite a good one, quite an apt
The food-looking
typo.
one, yes.
He looks for food.
We don't have enough Welsh people here, do we? Hello, if you're in Wales. Yes. All right, questions. Here's a question. Can you theoretically cause hyperglycemia by ingesting way too much protein in one sitting? Which cellular population is responsible for the conversion? What's the ideal protein intake per day? Go on, Stephen.
Yeah. Well, no, not really, because you'd have to eat ever such a lot of meat, and it doesn't work that way anyway. So what happens when you eat protein? The reason some people see a bump in their blood glucose reading is not from the protein per se. It's from the body saying, whoa, we need a bit more energy to digest the protein. So CCK actually will signal to the pancreas to release glucagon. And glucagon will then put your blood glucose up. So it's indirectly, it's not coming from the meat that you're eating. It's coming from the body going, well, incoming protein, this is quite a big bolus, so we need to put the energy supplies up. The easiest way to do that is glucagon, so it does that. And we know this because when I was working in the lab, we had in fact I was only asked today to come and help with another thing, but anyway, and you can actually see that the blood glucose drops when people are eating protein before it goes up, but sometimes the CGMs are just not that sensitive and calibrated. But mine did. The last time I did it, I actually did a live experiment on YouTube, and it did drop, and then it went up. There's no way protein going into your mouth 5 minutes later is putting your blood glucose up, because it's going through different processes.
Yeah.
So just theoretically, I just don't think you could eat enough, and there will still be. Once the glucagon has done that and put the blood glucose up, then what happens is, because glucagon and insulin are yin and yang, insulin then realizes its job is to not have the blood glucose in the bloodstream, put it in the cells, or where it's needed, where that energy is actually needed. So, in fact, one of the things I'm always saying about people reading their fantastic blood glucose readings is, yes, but how much insulin is there making that great reading? Because we know from historic records of real people, when we've done the fasted insulin, that you can predict that those people who come in and they look at their blood glucose readings and go, oh, it's fantastic, I'm really happy with that, and go, yeah, but your fasting insulin is really going up, so we need to know what's going on and you need to change your diet. So I suppose theoretically, I couldn't even see that happening. What cellular population is responsible for the conversion? Well, I've just explained that it isn't how you think it is. And then when they've done testing when they've doubly labeled amino acids to actually trace it to see how much ends up in your blood glucose directly, it's a pitiful amount. And that's doing what's called flux testing, which is where they test it minute by minute by minute, and they look to see where the doubly labeled amino acids are. And after hours, I think the biggest reading was 8% of the amino acids ended up in the blood glucose, and that was an outlier. Normally, it's about 2%. So it's
Spot on.
Steak does not become cake.
No. The ideal amount of protein, I personally suggest 2 grams per kilo of lean body mass per day.
As a start.
As your starting point. And then obviously what you do is you mess around and find out n equals 1 what's good for you.
Yep.
All right. Before we deal with Elevate with Ben's question, it just comes to mind that
great name.
Elevate with Ben. Good. I wanted to acknowledge the response that I got when I asked recently for people to join my Patreon service so that I can make a decent living from being a YouTuber a bit, and in bribery for that, I promised to put up a new course onto my Patreon that you could all enjoy at your leisure. And the course is going to be about how to think about literature, how to read literature, how to poke holes in literature when someone waves literature in front of you saying, look, here's a study that proves X, Y, or Z. A systematic way that you can think about and deal with analysing a paper, any given paper. And I said that I would be putting the first episode up this week, which I still intend to. However, as usual, I have got waylaid on a few other tasks and things, so it may be delayed a bit, but don't panic, I'm not lying. It will come up on the Patreon system there. It will be available. It will be before the end of the weekend, I promise. So, yep, it's coming. Right, there's that. Now let's deal with Ben. Ben has been carnivore for 3 months and still has acne, eating only meat and drinking only water. Will it go away with more time? Probably. Anything different, Stephen?
I think skin is one of those things that takes a long time to heal. I think that's the thing. It could be other things as well. This is why I use the Fat Cow tallow soap. I don't use any chemicals on my skin. I don't use any aftershaves or anything like that. Everything is tallow. I think that helps your skin, but skin actually comes from within. So the more you eat correctly, the better it will be. But sometimes it's a long old task. I've got somebody at the moment whose skin has started to improve after a year. They've been quite, but their skin is very bad. But it's patience as well, because your body doesn't prioritize skin over things like fixing your liver and fixing your heart and fixing your thyroid and your brain and all that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
But
yes.
You'll get there. You'll get there.
Agreed. Yep. Stick with it. Hang about. It gets better. Everything gets better when you stick around longer. That's what she said. Carnivore Farm Mom. We love us some Carnivore Farm Mom today, don't we? Is blood pressure of 104/78 okay on carnivore? Sure, why not? Sounds great. And I've noticed that, at least in the States, Stephen, they have once again now lowered the threshold as to what is hypertension, so that they can write a whole bunch more prescriptions for blood pressure lowering drugs. It's incredible, isn't it?
Yep. And I've seen that Carnivore Farm Mom has added, I was 120/66 the year before. Well, blood pressure is dynamic and situational,
Yep.
To be honest, I mean, I think both those numbers are okay, but if you're 66, I mean, if it was higher, I still wouldn't be worried. I really wouldn't. But anyway, that's pretty good.
No, I agree. Absolutely. Stefan had extreme pollen allergies for many years and now doesn't, having gone carnivore. Can we explain that? Not necessarily directly and exactly with mechanism, except that allergies can tend to be precipitated by being inflamed in the first place, and this is the most anti-inflammatory diet that we know about. That would be my speculation on it. Would you have anything different, Stephen?
Well, I am a person that had your camera went off there for a second, eh?
Good.
Yes. Well, I had terrible hay fever for many, many years, and once I went low carb, it got a lot better. Keto saw it reduce drastically, and carnivore, it's old history to me now, but I really did have terrible to the point where I was looking at injections and all sorts of stuff. I think one of the things is when you're not eating plants, you're not getting the glycans, so you're not getting the glycosylated proteins, basically, which mammals have, which are different to plants and stuff like that. So I think once you start taking out the plants, that helps, and you're getting all these benefits from, like you say, the anti-inflammatory side of things, leaky gut fixes. So you're hitting this allergy from all different angles, and I think you're just going back to what you said about germ theory and terrain. You're giving your body a much better environment to fight off anything and not be irritated by things, because nothing's inflamed, everything is cleared out quicker, So I just feel we're just more efficient. So anything that is irritating, because the allergic reaction is the body doing its job. You sneeze to get rid of the thing that's in your nose causing you problems. You have streamy eyes to do exactly the same thing. Well, we don't get that hyper reaction because we're not as easily irritated, I think. We just, our tear quality
Speak for yourself,
is...
I'm easily irritated.
our tear quality is better, so I just think in every little way, we are just more robust.
Very
Simple
good.
as that, I think.
Love it. Very good. Any thoughts on the William Davis SIBO yogurt? I have made a batch, El Ruteri, and so far it has calmed my symptoms. Well, there's your answer for you then. If it worked for you, great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I like William Davis. I do. I think he's very good to listen to. I don't agree with everything he says, but there's a perfect example. If you've got SIBO, I mean, I would go back to the migratory motor complex. I mean, that's another thing. If you've got gut problems, give your body more chance to elicit that response, and that means not eating. Once you've eaten and had your drink, wait 4 hours, at least 4 hours before you ingest anything else, and then you'll get your body's own clean-up system working.
Yep. You bet. Slovakia's in the house. That's
Hello, Slovakia.
And Estonia. Nice.
Yes.
Oh, speaking of other things happening in Europe, how do you feel about the Bovier killing all the cows, or the Bovier, whatever it's called?
Well, to be flippant, who'd have thought
Exactly.
that something Bill Gates had his fingerprints all over was going to be so bad?
Yeah.
You could see it coming. And also, sorry, go on, Bart.
I was
Sorry.
just going to say, who'd have thought that messing about with the natural design of things could possibly go wrong?
And the methane cycle is a thing. Cows are not making methane magically appear.
That's
and
right.
if we could doubly label the methane and follow it forever, you would find 12 years later it's back where it started.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yes. No, I think there's no surprise that this is not agreeing with the cows. Why the hell this nonsense has to continue? I've got no idea. Other than people are monumentally malleable and equally monumentally stupid on average. And while being malleable and stupid, people are too timid to stand up, look the man in the eye and say, no, sir, not today, on things in general, is what I would suggest. Anyway, there we go.
He's an investor. He's not a scientist. He's not a doctor. He's an investor.
That's right. He's also a criminal piece of shit.
Yes, well, I wasn't going to say that. And everyone thinks he's self-made, but his dad was a billionaire.
Right.
That really helps you.
It does a bit, getting a bit of a head start. He's a misanthropist piece of shit. He's overtly publicly stated on a number of occasions that he believes there are too many people on the planet and he'd like to see it reduced. And he's actually not just saying that's what he'd like to see. He's actually actively doing everything he can to make it happen.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
do you know what?
Every week we hear something on the media about Bill Gates said this or Bill Gates said that. Who gives a rip-roaring fuck what Bill Gates has got to say about anything? Personally. Anyway, sorry, Stephen, go on. I'm over it.
Well,
now.
if you took the entire population of the world and you stood them next to each other, it would only fill up about 10% of Spain. You know, so the rest of the world would be completely devoid of humans. So the overpopulation thing is not even a good thing to talk about. But anyway,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Been on the lion diet for 4 months, and then it's corrected to, 8 months. Okay. Been on the lion diet for 8 months, getting lots of sun too, however, still have skin issues, acne. What do you recommend? Liver? No, anything but liver, still.
Patience, I'm sorry.
Patience, yes.
Yeah. But do check out all your, all your cosmetics, all your soaps and stuff and all that as well. I mean, just look at your environment.
Yeah, exactly. Are there any side effects to Cerule, and is there anyone that should not take it? Well, occasionally there can be mild stomach upsets at the outset of first starting to take the product, which usually clear up after a week or two. It's pretty rare, but that does happen from time to time. The side effects are the release of adult stem cells, which do magic. So that's good. Is there anyone that should not take it? There's not anyone that should not take it, unless it's someone that's got an allergy to something that's in it, for example. But in general, there's no reason for a person in general to avoid taking Cerule. It does not interact meaningfully with any known pharmacological, so there's no contraindications there either, except that you need to be aware that the product does contain an amount of vitamin K inherently and naturally, and as such that can work against blood thinners, so you need to make your medical provider aware of that if you're under medical care. And there's a product in there, a feel-good product, which has a really good effect on mood, etc., whatever else, and is very anti-inflammatory as well, called PEA, phenylethylamine or something, which is an awesome thing, but it's on the list of things that professional athletes are not allowed to have in their system. Other than that, go for it.
Good question. By the way, there's a couple of super chats with questions attached, by the way.
Right. Okay, we'll get to those. Let me just work out where I am here. I'm there.
I'm only saying that because I can't be on much longer because we've done
fair play. We've done a lot, and we're doing a Harry Sopranos. Right. So super chat, $5 New Zealand dollars. Thank you very much. Good morning, you three from the communist state of New Zealand. Yes, we three.
Yes.
Face the front, Ted, for goodness sake.
I never want to see the back of him.
Right. I would love to see you live with you guys in Siwas, but you wouldn't get a word in edgeways, so you bet I'd get a word in edgeways with Siwas. Yeah. Him and I are not mates. We've never spoken personally, but I have a problem with him, several problems, which I think I've been very clear about. Yeah.
He thinks ChatGPT is facts.
Right. He also.
I don't know if you saw that.
He also thinks that he thinks.
Yeah, I know he doesn't.
Yeah.
He did a 29-minute or something thing where he kept looking down at a bit of paper like this, and he was purporting these facts, reporting these facts, and he was saying this, that, and the other, and I was thinking, I've never heard of this. Where's this come from? And at the end, he went, "There you go, ChatGPT, facts." He actually did that. Oh my word, really?
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, and he doesn't understand the A1C at all. He doesn't understand bloods. He doesn't understand insulin. He just has no idea.
He also has a very serious arrogance problem and a very, very irritating and poor way of communicating, I find. Yeah, but my major problems are not those. My major problems are the fact that almost everything that comes out of the mouth of Siwas is absolute fucking nonsense. Right, melted cheese, thank you for the $5. Weird question, but curious. If someone has AIDS and did all the hacks, the 5 health hacks, I suppose you mean, is it possible he will be cured completely from this disease? No, it isn't possible. There we go. Other super chats. Juliet, love you. Nothing you can do about it. Thanks for the super sticker. John, can arterial plaque be reversed? If so, how? Yes, 5 health hacks. Add in nattokinase as well, if you like, on top of that. Absolutely.
I was speaking about that with someone today, actually.
Excellent. Good. Any other super chats that I've missed?
No, that's it, I think.
All right, very good. I can go back to where I was. I know we're behind. We're doing a Harry again. But then we're spending some time on people's questions. So that's why we're behind. Where was I? I was all the way back. My word, all the way back here somewhere. No, neither one of us is Sarah Pugh. Sarah's lovely. We love us some Sarah. She's a good friend of mine. Yeah. She's more than welcome here in Pimbati at any stage for hijinks and whatever else. She has visited personally in the past.
Can I just?
But not here.
Can I just? I just want to add on the plaque progression thing because you spoke to Robert Kiltz recently, and he was worried about his coronary artery calcium scan going up. Now, the first thing is at our age, I'm 61. I think he's in his 70s. There is a certain percentage that is expected. You know, when you look at the population, what is the progression? So at my age, it's 25% progression allegedly every year, which is ridiculous because my reading would now be 3,000. I haven't had a chance to reread it. So when you're talking about arterial plaque regression, the first thing is to slow progression. That's the first thing. Then halt progression and then try to reverse it. And that's right. Will take time. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. No, good points. Well made. Oh,
well,
I see what we're doing.
What are we doing?
We're guessing who's coming to visit here. That's why we're mentioning Sarah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's not Sarah. Sarah Pugh doesn't live in Scotland. Sarah Pugh lives in Yorkshire.
She's not a nurse either.
Neither is she a nurse. There you go. Well, we've kind of already told you she's a nurse from the UK. And that nurse girl from the UK. Yes, that's who's coming.
Great guess.
Yes, it is that nurse girl from the UK that's coming here. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be. I think it's going to be really good. Yeah, I think
it's not Nurse Bell, is it?
No, it's not. No.
Do you know where that's from?
I don't.
No, but that's a Carry On film. That's where the infamous Ding Dong comes from. Because the nurse said, "Hello, I'm Nurse Bell." And Lizzie Phillips went, "Ding Dong."
Yeah. Will it be Rob Kiltz wearing a dress, or Rob Kiltz in a kilt? No, it won't be that. Neither is it Dr. Lisa. Neither of those two are nurses. They're both doctors. Do you see how that's the hint? Yeah. Good guesses, or at least
they are.
I mean, what I should say is thank you for participating.
Yes.
Yes. Every child wins a prize here, don't they? Does Cyril adult STEM Enhance work with people that are... Okay, well, that's kind of a similar question, yeah. It can absolutely help to manage the situation, but it will not affect a cure. No. What are my main points of disagreement with Ben Bickman? He thinks that insulin resistance is a thing. He thinks that insulin resistance is more than what it is, i.e. a construct. He thinks that insulin is the master controller over fuel selection in the cells, which it's not. He's wrong. There we go. And Ben Bickman is a theologue, which he's also wrong about. So they're the main points. Yeah. I don't have a problem with someone being a theologue, by the way, so long as they don't espouse their theology as a fact, whatever that theology might be. Scanning. You let me know, Stephen, if you do need to jump off as and when, and that can happen. Absolutely, and we do appreciate your time very much. It's very valuable. Is a cataract able to be reversed by diet or supplements? Yes. Yes, it is. They'll tell you it's not, but that's wrong. It absolutely is. Of course, the human body has the capacity to heal its tissues from various things, so long as you place your body in a position where it's likely to do that. I would suggest 5 health hacks, including the fine cereal products, the carnivore diet, the electrical grounding and earthing, the blue light blockage, and the exercise. All 5.
This is a good question to just jump in with and say, don't elicit the polyol pathway, because that's the thing that actually is the main driver for cataract development, isn't it? Because once you get over 7 millimoles per litre in your blood glucose, or 127 milligrams per deciliter, the polyol pathway comes in. So that is a pathway that normally deals with about 3% of your blood glucose. But we know that once you go above those levels, the polyol pathway will take about 30% of your glucose and turn it into sorbitol, which is the thing that's osmotic, and it will make your lens suck up the water, and that's what a cataract is. So when you add 50 grams of carbohydrates, momentarily you will be over 127 milligrams per deciliter. And those people who eat lots of carbs, I was one of them. This is how I know all this, by the way, because I had to have my lenses replaced because I was a high carb advocate. And that's one thing I rarely talk about. But yes, I have actually got artificial lenses in my eyes right now because I had terrible cataracts.
Wow. There we go.
Yeah.
Buck is eating keto. Very good.
Good, man.
Whatever.
Good for you, Buck. Yeah.
Lovely. Has anyone else found that they've lost their interest in alcohol? Nope. Nope.
I never had it in the first place. So.
Good. All right. That's a good thing, though. If you're not going to drink alcohol, that's absolutely a win, because there's no place really for alcohol in human nutrition. It's a recreational drug and it's a toxin, and you shouldn't do it. Says me, of all people. Jesus. If you live in a glass house, don't throw rocks. That's one of
and
the
also
things
don't walk around
Pim's often
naked.
saying. Well, that too. Exactly. Yes. That's one of the things Pim's always saying to me. Pim's always saying things to me, though. She says a couple of things. Like, she says I never listen to anything she says, and there's some other shit she says too.
You should have done it, but she didn't do it. Yeah.
There you go. Right.
But there you go.
You can't get the help. Ted's too busy twiddling all the knobs. Good boy, Ted. You carry on. How long does it take for carbohydrates to completely pull out of the body?
She spelled the name wrong again.
Yeah. It's pH.
S-T-E-P-H. Yep.
Steve Hen. Yeah.
Step hen.
Step hen. How long is a piece of string, carnivore for Mom? How long is a piece of string? How long it takes depends on a number of inputs and outputs. About 72 hours. I'm going to what?
No, but we're going to look at
longer.
this differently. Well, I'm going to look at this very differently, because firstly, how long is a piece of string? Twice the distance from the middle to the end. Right, that's the answer to that one. Secondly,
very good. Yeah.
Well, what if you're a carb addict? You see, if you have carbs and you abstain from them for 72 hours, like you say, which I agree with, by the way, the game ain't over, because you have triggered your carbohydrate addiction. That's what a lot of people suffer with. Once you have that sweet taste, you're right, physiologically, they get out of your system quickly, because the body's remarkable like that. It's a toxin, it gets down to a good level, and bang, you're all right. But mentally, where are you? Because most people say to me, dear, it was a wedding at the weekend. I just had to have a bit of the wedding cake, to be polite. I can't stop thinking about carbohydrates. So, yes, they get out of your system in a physiological state, yes. But in your mental capacity, they might be in your head a little bit longer, I think.
Right.
What do you reckon? You think you don't like that, Bart?
I'm happy with it. I'm not desperately unhappy with any of that. I think it's, it's an absolutely fine perspective. I don't, I'm not going to jump up and down about it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. It's all good. I'm happy.
Your body language says it all, mate. It's just like, oh no, he's off again.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's all good. It's fine. Not everything has a hard and fast answer.
No, right.
Not everything's either hard nor fast. That's what she said.
Yes.
There you go. I was keto for 10 years, turned carnivore 6 months ago, and now she's being accused of mental illness similar to anorexia because she doesn't consume carbs. Fuck, there's some imbeciles out there, aren't there? There really are.
Yes. Yeah. Just ignore the idiots.
That's right. You're very welcome, Jonathan. Very welcome.
Oh, he's still here. That's good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. Would it be better to exercise in the morning or in the evening? Whenever you will, I think. What's the best time to exercise? When you can and when you will.
When you can and when you will. I'd definitely say, though, you've asked after waking up. Yeah, definitely don't do it when you haven't.
Yeah, don't exercise when you're asleep. No, that wouldn't be good at all. Yeah. Yes. All right, John. Good to see you, mate.
Oh, wow, they're all coming in.
Yeah.
Just as
Were
I've
you
got
late
to go.
class? Were you late, John? In which case, you need to report to Ted down the back of the class. Down there at the back. Wink, 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 wink. See how he's winking? Wink, wink, wink.
Say
wink,
no more.
Wink,
Wink, wink. Say no more.
Wink. Here, bucket of soapy frogs for you, young man. There you go. Yeah. Oh, God. We get this question every week too. Do I need to worry about eating some meat raw? No. No, you stick all the raw meat in your gob you like.
But you don't have to do any.
Yeah, that's right. There's no need to.
Yeah.
But it's a perfectly valid option if you like.
Yeah.
If you like that kind of thing. Frank Tofano loves sticking raw meat in his gob, for one example.
Oh, come on. That deserved it. Didn't it?
Sorry, I forgot again.
He used to be good, didn't he? He used to be quite good.
Yeah, did Frank. Yeah. He lost the plot. Right about the time he accused me
yeah.
of being a CIA agent undercover.
Yeah. And some of his work was exceptionally good, actually, when he was talking about like mobile phone towers, and he did some great research on the impact it was having on schools, school kids, and stuff. Really good stuff. Really, really good. It's such a shame.
It is. There are many clinical trials of viruses causing diseases. No, there are many trials that make very, very good inferences to that effect. Okay? Let's not get this wrong. Let's get this right. I'm not saying that viruses don't cause disease. I think they do. That is my opinion, strongly held. And I think there's really good inference to support that. But there are no trials establishing the fact. Okay? That's a different thing. That's how
Now,
far
why do
behind we
you've
are.
started doing that noise, by the way, I've noticed on your lives.
It fills the gap.
Right.
The thing is, if I shut my mouth long enough, dangerous shit starts happening. My brain kicks into gear and I start actually thinking about things.
Yeah, I'm just thinking this is beginning to be a bit like Smashy and Nicey.
Which one's smashy and which one's nicey?
Right, let's move on.
All right, did you see the Jack Cruz and Sean Baker drama? Yeah, I did. It was hilarious. Absolutely fucking hilarious. Points to Sean Baker.
Yeah.
Really?
Sean is great. I mean, this week I thought one of his best tweets was, can people not see the irony of saying that he needs to eat carbs to grow muscles, and he also must be on testosterone because he's got big muscles?
Yes.
Basically.
Could. He also said that light trumps diet, without a hint of irony, straight to Sean Baker's face. Light definitely trumps diet, he said. Well, which one of them is corpulent,
Yes.
obese even, patently unwell, and unbalanced, it seems, of the two? Yeah. Thank you for that. Yes. JBud716 appreciates the fact that I don't mind calling out people that identify as carnivores. It's all about balance. I don't want to be seen to be, just picking on the veg-tarded. Really?
Yeah, now this is annoying. Those Bart and Stephen are near the top of my list. Well, who's at the top?
Exactly. Who's at the top? It's this guy, isn't it? It must be.
It's got to be.
Ashton says Cerule has no science. False.
But it does.
Completely false. Wrong.
I've read some of it. Yes.
Yeah, so have I. I've read some of it too. I was involved in some of it, actually, in a peripheral way too. So there we have it. No, Susan Boyle is not coming to visit here. No. Do you think that carbohydrates actually cause depression and anxiety? I think it's possible, absolutely, to play a role. Yeah. I'm not going to say the word cause, but
Yeah, I think the same, and I think it's down to the fact that you can't access, well, because of your high levels of insulin, for instance, lots of things don't happen that should have happen, basically.
Yeah, I love it. All right. Well, it's been an active chat, and it's still actively chatting away, which is good. We've had good numbers today, Stephen, in terms of viewership, so clearly you're a draw card.
Okay.
Well,
I've never been called that before.
You're a bit of a card, whatever, but let's call you a draw card. Eh? Yes.
Thank you. Well, thank you for having me on.
Not at all. An absolute pleasure. I think we'll it's getting on towards the 2-hour mark, so we will call a halt to it. We didn't get through everyone's questions. Apologies for that, but you can keep your powder dry for next time. I'm sure that we'll be able to twist Stephen's arm to come and see us again.
Yeah.
We do have a laugh, don't we? We have a laugh.
We try to, don't we? Yeah.
Don't we? We have a laugh. Do we look bothered? Do I look bothered?
Jacob's just giving you $20. I think you should acknowledge that. I don't know if it's you or me. Is it you or me?
He's giving somebody $20. Anyway, thanks for the $20, whoever gets it. Either way, YouTube gets a third of it.
Oh, someone's guessed, is it Rachel Brown?
It's not Rachel Brown. She's a psychiatrist.
But it's a good guess because she is from Edinburgh.
Yeah.
And she's female, yes. And in the medical fraternity.
Yeah. I tell you, I'll give you a second clue.
That was Andrew Scarborough who guessed that, by the way.
Oh, hello, Andrew. Good to see you, mate. Yeah. While she's a resident of Scotland, is our nurse friend. She's actually from home counties originally. Does that help?
Ah. Doesn't help me.
No, okay. All right.
I've genuinely got no idea who it is. So
even though I told you before we came online, Stephen, you've forgotten already.
But I can't think of her. I can't picture her. If you know what I mean.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay.
Right.
Well, you may not have to because I think she's amenable to doing a few videos collaboratively while she's here among doing other things. Okay, I might even be able to get her stripped out in the Meat Militia uniform. That'd be hilarious. That'd be awesome. When Sarah Pugh visited, she put one on. So there you go. There's the challenge for everyone to step up to. It was good.
Brilliant.
All right.
Okay, mate.
Pretty much that's it. Thank you very much. Let's finish with the singing of the national anthem of the independent sovereign nation of Pimbatia, where no one will say, "Stop! You have your papers!" No, they won't. But they will ask you what you should have for breakfast, and you will need to know what the answer is. And it's, it's something like this. Steak and eggs and eggs and steak. That's what you should have for your breakfast. Delicious. Eggs and steak and steak and eggs. Just making sure you heard. I think they got it, Ted. Join us next time when someone will be wrong on the interwebs, probably, because, well, there's a lot of it going around.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. Hit the button, Ted, anytime you're ready.
Bye.
Bye. Come on, Ted. It's not hard.